Hello, my name is Steven Fisher. I don't do IRL recordings often, or at all, really. I run a YouTube channel. I also just play video games. Don't do a whole lot on my YouTube. I don't have a huge online presence. I don't post about my personal life. But just want to get into a couple of things real quick. I'm an engineer. I like to game, read, lift weights, play sports. Tinker with electronics, hunt, man stuff. I don't know. But I don't have much of an online presence. I don't have very many friends. I don't have a family. I love the family that I come from. I probably have the worst luck with women of anyone you've ever seen. So ain't no family to worry about. So I don't like going out very much. I like peace and quiet. I'm kind of introverted. I just like to avoid stress whenever possible. So, but last week was a really bad week. I was already going through some stuff, but with recent events, I just want to concisely talk about a couple of things that have been on my mind. And maybe I'm only talking to my future self if I ever watch this, but if it reaches anybody else, then Lord willing, maybe. So be it then. I want to talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk. Just address a couple of things as concisely as possible. I don't like how Charlie Kirk debated. I'm actually far more extreme than he would ever be. I probably make him look like a liberal. But I admire the guy. Because he did what most of us don't do enough of. He spent his life giving his enemies a microphone. And they shot him for it. To be able to speak freely, you have to be able to, you have to be willing to risk everything. You have to be willing to die for liberty. The cost of freedom is eternal vigilance, Thomas Jefferson, I think. And he's not even religious. Him and John Adams didn't get along, but he had some great ones. He had some great quotes. But we always have to be prepared to face that reality in a free society. And the people on the side that don't want to live in a free society, that celebrate this event, they would revel in the death of those they disagree with. Until the only remaining people would think and do like they do. That's evil. They worship evil. They despise what is good. I'm a religious man, so just kind of bear with me for a few minutes. Paul's letter to the Ephesians 6:12. For we do not wrestle against the flesh and blood, but against the rulers, the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Jesus, the God-man, spent his life doing what we should be doing. He lived a perfect life. He never sinned. He debated the religious leaders of his time. He spoke the truth. He rebuked the hypocrite. He healed the sick. He fed the poor. They crucified him. Why would they do that? You don't crucify the liar. You don't crucify the hand that feeds you. They crucified him because he was exactly who he says that he is. I'm a very analytical person. I deal with math every day at work. I'm an engineer, right? This is all the proof I need. These events are all the proof that I need that this is all the proof that I need to know that Jesus Christ is alive, that he rose from the dead. The existence of this evil in this world is the evidence that I need. If Christ's work was not complete, then the devil would not seek your complete and utter destruction. I'm gonna sound cheesy and lame, but Lucifer and his minions are bound to death. They lost. They're chained. The most they can do is pull you down with them. We have nothing to fear. Lucifer and his henchmen can take your life in this world, but that life doesn't belong to him. It's not his to take. Even Lucifer only belongs to his creator and can only do what he was created to do. He's a created being. Lucifer can take your freedom in this life. But Jesus Christ is freedom. Freedom is only found in truth. The truth shall set you free. Easy one to go to. But Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. If that man is exactly who he says he is, then that man is freedom. That man is liberty. 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking all whom he might devour. He can kill you, but you're not his. Romans 14:8. If we live for the Lord. If we die for the Lord. So whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord. Lucifer can try to enslave you, but he can't. Only you can do that. But Christ can set you free. Even with all of this, the devil's enemy isn't you. You are merely the image of everything that he hates. He only comes after you because he's already lost. He's like a toddler throwing a tantrum. 1 John 5. Starting in verse 4. For everyone who has been born of God overcomes the world. And this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. Who is it that overcomes the world except the one who believes that Jesus Christ is the Son of God? 1 John 3:8. Whoever makes a practice of sinning is of the devil. For the devil has been sinning from the beginning. The reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the works of the devil. Paul's letter to the Colossians 1:13. He has delivered us from the domain of darkness and delivered us to the kingdom of his beloved Son. He's already won. Lucifer's lost. So this has pushed me further into the arms of Jesus. We all need to be a little bit more like Charlie Kirk in that regard. Even a nobody that's as unimportant as me can still minister to people. And this isn't to say we need to go out and be martyrs. That's silly, right? I'm not Muslim. I'm not seeking to be a martyr. This isn't to say you shouldn't go before your enemies We have to go before our enemies. It's not to say you can't defend yourself. There's biblical ways to defend yourself. You have a God-given right to life and self-preservation. But we need to preach the gospel. I've never been more convinced that the existence of the good and evil in this world just points to God being so real. Morality wouldn't exist without a higher standard than humanity. I can't just make up what's right or wrong. No group of people can make up what's right or wrong. The left can't decide. They're not the arbiters of morality. I'm not the arbiter of morality. People that agree with me aren't. We aren't collectively the arbiters of morality. If 51% of the people voted to just eat the other 49%, that wouldn't make it right. If the majority of people committed atrocity, it would still be atrocity. It would still be evil. I have never been more convinced of higher morality, the existence of Jesus. I've never been more convinced of the resurrection than I am right now. I'm just gonna, I'll end it here in a second, but my favorite psalm, other than, well, my second favorite psalm, 23 is my favorite. But my second favorite, Psalm 27. One thing I have asked of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, and gaze upon his beauty. That is the one thing that we all should want, is to live in the kingdom for eternity. I have no concept of eternity right now. And that's obvious in my everyday sin. But they can't win. If they were to kill all of us, it would be victory for Christ. And the gospel would still go out. It's just wild to me. Sorry for the long theological thought. I'm Stephen Fisher. God bless, be good.